Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Kree Reapers and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ahead of the upcoming release of Marvel Future Revolution, I thought I would take a quick look at two mobile games that I have never played. And the first one I thought I'd look at is Marvel Contest of Champions. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, so first things first, this is a very different beast to the hero collector resource management mobile games that I normally play, like Marvel Strike Force, for example. With Champions, you are actually doing the fighting, so it's a two-handed game, right? You need both hands on your device, whether it's phone. I'm actually using an iPad right now, and you are making the characters move. So, you know, I'm getting like old school Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat kind of vibes from this game. It's a very different, more intense kind of experience. A lot of the time when I'm playing Strike Force or Galaxy of Heroes, for example, I'm kind of doing some stuff in the background. There's a lot of farming and things that go on like that, or you know, raids where I have a lot of the battles on autoplay. This game does not look like it's going to play out like that. This is a hands-on experience, and I am responsible, not doing a very good job here, for example, of making Black Widow actually attack Taskmaster. There we go. I got a couple of moves in there. So a very different beast straight off the bat. That's the first impression. Secondly, the feel of the game itself, it's giving me kind of DC Legends vibes. If you remember, if anyone's familiar with that game, I actually made a video. I played that for the first time, made a video on my channel last year sometime. I'll pop a link in the right hand corner so you can check that out. This game, Contest of Champions, I believe came out in 2014. So comparing that to Marvel Strike Force, this game is about 4 years older. So that maybe explains why it feels quite a bit older, especially in terms of the graphics that you're seeing on screen now. This feels an awful lot older and less impressive than Marvel Strike Force to me. I think the DC Legends actually came out in 2016. I could be wrong about that. That's crazy to me because they've got a similar feel. For some reason, Contest of Champions is giving me DC Legends vibes, but I'd actually say it looks slightly better than DC Legends. So I don't know how DC Legends is a newer game that in my mind looks worse. But yeah, I'd say that the graphics are not that impressive compared to what we've got coming now, especially in terms of Marvel Future Fight, which looks just completely awesome. But I'd say even compared to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, these graphics are not all that impressive, so it definitely feels like a much older game. Future Fight, I meant Future Revolution, of course. Ugh, all these names, so many names to keep track of. That's a good problem to have, right? So many mobile games coming out, so many great IPs that it's difficult to keep track of them. Thank you so much. I'm happy. That's a problem I'm happy to have. Okay, so in terms of actual gameplay, let's take a quick look at this and see what it's like to actually play Marvel Contest of Champions. So I'm comparing this to Hero Collector and resource management games, and there is obviously a collector and resource management element to this game. So actually in the game you play kind of a collector. I think you're referred to as summoner, and you're basically like the collector. You're collecting heroes from around the galaxy, maybe from around the multiverse, and you're also collecting these resources that you can use to upgrade the heroes. Now the upgrade system, I'll take a look at that in a minute, but it seems to be pretty straightforward, not as complicated as either Galaxy of Heroes or Marvel Strike Force. You can see there I just unlocked Gamora. I'm going to open another crystal now. I'm not sure if there's so many different types of crystals, so many different colors, and oh, there we go. I was going to say, I don't know if this is going to give me a character or what, but it gave me Rocket, so that's pretty cool. And so I am adding, you know, this is similar to Marvel Strike Force in that I am using these crystals, opening these crystals to build up a team of heroes, a squad of heroes that I'm then going to use to fight these various battles that you saw me fighting. A couple of examples of those a little bit earlier. So here you go. This is my squad. So I recently unlocked Gamora, Red Guardian, Black Widow, and Loki. I seem to have two Wolverines. I don't really know how that's possible. Again, if you play this game and you know these kinds of things, maybe let me know down in the comments. I can see that one is kind of 2-star and the other is just 1 star. So I can see how there are different different power levels between the characters, but I'd imagine there'd be some way I could kind of combine them or get rid of the weaker one, but that doesn't seem to be the case, or maybe I've just not unlocked it yet. But it's a little odd for me that I can have two different versions of the same character in my roster. There we go. And then I can use these. So ISO, anyone who's familiar with Marvel Strike Force, of course you're going to be familiar with ISO 8. So here you're using ISO to kind of level up your characters. So I just leveled up Gamora there, I think. Yeah, I think she's now got the most health. And yeah, so it seems like there are kind of level up stats, although it does seem both simpler, more kind of a straightforward, not as compartmentalized or modular system as we have currently in Strike Force. But it also seems kind of, as a newbie, this also seems kind of complicated. So simple but complicated at the same time, if that's not too weird of a thing for me to say. In terms of the actual gameplay, the actual battles, you're kind of moving through this map that you can see in the background here. It kind of reminds me of the raid maps in Marvel Strike Force. So you're moving through different nodes and fighting different battles. At the moment, everything that I'm playing is PvE, so it's all against the computer, and then I'm using my team, and again you're kind of looking at these stats, so I think that means Wolverine gonna fight the Punisher. Not only is he more powerful, but I think he's got a bonus because the arrow's pointing up and the Punisher's arrow is pointing down there, so I think it's characters of that class are gonna have a bonus against characters of that other class. So I guess it's kind of the mutant versus the skill, and the mutant has the bonus there. This gameplay is kind of intense. I don't really know what I'm doing. As I said, I'm getting a lot of old school console kind of vibes here. Looks like I've done this though. Looks like we're gonna get the KO. Oh man, wow, that was brutal. There we go. There's the KO. I feel like I'm kind of mashing the screen in the same way, like you're playing on your old PlayStation, and your younger sibling or cousin would just kind of mash the controller, and you'd be kind of trying to get all these combo moves in, and they're just mashing the buttons, and somehow they still manage to beat you on occasion. That is kind of what this feels like here. I'm advancing through this space map, fighting these various heroes. I'm basically, at the minute, at the level I'm at, I'm kind of just tapping the screen. So you're tapping the left side of the screen. You're always coming in from the left, and your things that you're doing on the left side of the screen are defensive things. You're blocking enemy attacks, and things you're doing on the right side of the screen are offensive, and you can kind of hold down various parts of the screen to get sort of different bonuses. And here it looks like I can use a healing potion to upgrade Spider-Man if I wanted to, but I think I'm just gonna carry on using Wolverine and see how Wolverine does against Cap. But yeah, right now, presumably this gets better as you power up characters and they get more abilities, and as you generally get more skilled at this. But right now, this all seems very sort of random to me. I know that I'm obviously fighting computer players that are a lot weaker than I am, which is why I think I'm winning, because I'm literally just kind of mashing the screen here. There we go. I powered that move up, and it just resulted into a backflip because Captain America was too far away. So yeah, don't really know what I'm doing. It is kind of fun. I mean, I'm tempted to say that it's not my sort of game. I feel like Marvel Strike Force is more my kind of thing. It's with more of a focus on the collecting roster collection. Boom, there we go, KO. But this is kind of fun. I am kind of enjoying it. I've got to admit. So like any of these games, the initial gameplay does seem to be a little bit repetitive, but that's to be expected at the beginning, right? There are different game modes, so this is technically a different kind of map that I'm on now. It's a little bit later, and I've got a bigger team now, a bigger roster, because I moved up so I can have kind of 3 players that I can choose from instead of just the 2, so I've thrown in, Gamora, Red Guardian, and Black Widow, which is kind of fun. But yeah, the minute it all seems very repetitive. That's maybe to be expected at the beginning stages of the game, and at the moment it's all PvE, although I'm assuming I've got to wait a little while until I can unlock alliances, but I'm assuming somewhere along the line there are going to be PvP elements. So any free-to-play game, of course, makes its money by selling you stuff, selling you packs, and this game is no exception. There are lots of packs available. I am not going to be playing long enough to get a feel for how worthwhile any of these packs are, but they are definitely on offer. There's lots of packs you can buy to unlock characters and generally power up your squad. But the good news is that I've now made it to the sufficient level that I can join an alliance. So that's what I'm trying to do now. It's oddly confusing. I've clicked the Find Alliance or Join Alliance button, Find an Alliance now, several times. Auto Join an Alliance seems to be on, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything. This is a general kind of trend. Oh, there you go. Okay, so I guess my request, I don't remember putting a request. I guess this is the auto join. So I've now joined this alliance, and we're now looking at the alliance screen here. This game, and again, I got this feeling with DC Legends, it just feels like there's maybe stuff going on in the background that is not showing me. Maybe there's like a load screen that's missing, or it's you know, it's a simplistic interface, but it's made complicated because I feel like it's not giving me enough communication. Either that, or it's just not running very well. But I don't know what was happening there when I was clicking on that Alliance Join button here. Anyway, I guess these are sort of raids. So there's solo events and then Alliance events, but it looks like I can't. These are all finished, so there's nothing here that I can actually join. So that's a little bit annoying. So maybe I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this now, and I'm going to come back in a minute and see, come back a little later and see if there's anything that I can join then, just so we can have a look and see if there is a sort of PvP, or at least if there is a how the alliance works, how we can kind of work together, even if it's just multiple people in my alliance. I got some kind of reward there for joining the alliance, even if it's multiple people working together against the environment, against computer players, just to really get a sense for how that works. Don't go anywhere, I'll be back in a second. Okay, so it's a couple of days later. I was kicked from that first alliance that I was in. Makes sense, didn't do anything. And I've joined this new alliance now, which I will definitely get kicked from when I don't do anything again later. And this is the screen that I came to. There are no alliance quests at this time. Please check back later. So we might not get to really see what alliances are all about during this video. That's just mail there. Looks like they're mostly trying to sell me stuff. That's fair enough. So yeah, I think maybe we're not gonna be able to really get into alliances in the course of this video, just because it would require too much work, I think. Let's take a quick look at Alliance War. Basically, I feel like I would have to play this game, get my level up really high, and join a decent alliance. And you know, maybe if I really liked this game. So yeah, we're not enlisted. So I think that's going to be the problem with these weaker alliances, right? That if these are beginner alliances, the kind of alliances that I can auto join and get thrown into are going to be the kind of alliances where no one's really in charge. They're all new players like me. No one knows what they're doing. And so we're probably unlikely to be in a position where we can take part in a lot of the best activities that these alliances have to offer. So that's a shame. Maybe you know, if you're familiar with Contest of Champions, if you play this game, let me know in the comments down below what your experiences are, particularly around alliances, how alliances work, and what you get from them. I'd love to get your feedback and your insight on the game. Now, if I was really enjoying this game, then I might decide to, you know, carry on playing for a few weeks, really get my level up, and then I could make a video really exploring the alliances. But I have to say, so far it's not really grabbing me. Maybe it's partly that the game just seems pretty old, that it's not that impressive visually, but also I have to say the gameplay, it's really not my cup of tea. Not because there's anything wrong with it, there isn't. And I think, in fact, if you're into this kind of game, that sort of beat 'em up thing, again, that sort of Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat style thing, I think it's actually really fun, and fun to do this with Marvel characters too. I think it would be fun to play with a controller. This really seems like the kind of game that'd be fun to play with a controller. Tapping the screen does, you know, it misses something. It's not the same as I said, kind of mashing that pad, getting all those combos when you're hitting A, B, and you know, just at exactly the right time. That's kind of fun, and that's missing when you're just tapping a touch screen here. So not for me, but obviously for a lot of people out there, and I would love love to hear from you. Do you play Marvel Contest of Champions? Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you love about it. Let me know what you don't like about it. Let me know anything that you think I've missed here, anything that I've gotten wrong, maybe parts of the game I just didn't understand. Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts, comments, and criticisms as always. And you know, speaking of that and Marvel games, obviously I'm looking at this game right now in anticipation of Marvel's future revolution. So let me know, are you excited for the latest Marvel mobile game to come out? Have you already pre-ordered it? I think it's out in Canada right now, just on Android, I believe. But if you're elsewhere in the world, we have to wait a little later. Here in the States, it's going to come out at the end of September, so we've still got a couple of months to go. Are you excited? Have you been looking at videos? Several people out there, Cubs fan, mobile gamer, they've made videos on it. It does look pretty cool. Let me know your thoughts down below. Well, thank you for being a part of this journey with me today. If you have found this video enjoyable, entertaining, informative in any way, please consider giving it a like, a thumbs up down below. I really do appreciate it, and it helps out the channel. And while you're here, why not consider subscribing? I drop new gameplay videos mostly for Marvel Strike Force and Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and I drop something new every week. I'd love to have you as a part of the gang. That is all for Liam Maiden gameplay today. I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, look after each other.